Hey folks, welcome back to Masterpiece Security. You know, this book, this wonderful book, Application Security Program Handbook, written by Derek Fisher, has some great information about shifting right in the development lifecycle. And when we consider development lifecycle, we think of requirements getting built into features, and those features then being delivered to a production environment and going to a customer or a client or a user. And when we shift right, as I spoke about before, shifting left means building in security requirements as early as possible to make sure that we don't get stuff out in production that could create a risk for the organization and for the application. But when we shift right, we're actually putting things in place to protect that application should something get out there in production. And to be honest, there's always going to be something in production that is going to be vulnerable. That's just the nature of development. We're never going to be able to stop those things. There's always going to be vulnerabilities. It's a crazy world we live in. But if you're able to shift right, this means that you're able to put things in place to protect the application. Such things as a web application firewall or runtime application security protection. Both of these will provide some level of protection against vulnerabilities that may be in that running application. So for instance, you may be able to catch a SQL injection and be able to block that SQL injection from actually happening. It's amazing. Just absolutely fabulous. And you can still use things like threat intelligence to be able to feed into your development lifecycle to do something like virtual patching, which is using something like a WAF to be able to block certain issues that may come up based on the signature or based on how the certain vulnerability may interact with your environment. You may be able to take that intelligence and build rules into your WAF to be able to block something from happening. Your runtime application security protection, or RASP, is a little bit smarter than a WAF, where it's actually working within your application to be able to see something as it happens and be able to block it. Amazing. But ultimately, it comes down to vulnerability management. You want to make sure that you have a process in place to be able to get information about vulnerabilities and react to them when you find them. So say, for instance, that SQL injection gets out into production. How are you going to be able to solve that in a short period of time? That there is the problem. If you can't solve it quickly, it's going to be there for a while, and you're going to be in trouble. It's a crazy world we live in security. But remember, folks, when you're secure, I'm secure. Stay safe out there.